So you're going about your day-to-day business, you get into work and you find one of these three bad boys either on your email or come in by post. They are ESOS notices from the Environment Agency, and they come in three flavours. You've got flavour 1, a compliance notice. They're great. Flavour 2, enforcement notice. Flavour 3, notification of a compliance audit. Let's take a look at what you must do, what you should do, and what you definitely mustn't do. Okay, so you've got one of these letters, it's dropped through. They're normally sent by email to the company secretary or to the senior director. I've seen both. Sometimes they're sent by post to the company secretary, and in some cases the company secretary is remote, didn't realise the importance of it and didn't forward it on, which always causes a problem. But you're going to get one of three letters, okay? That's the kind of three flavours you get. The first one is your compliance notice. It's normally the first in the chain. This is a short letter. It comes with a covering section at the front, followed by the actual notice itself, followed by, critically, a schedule at the back, this thing here. Okay, so right at the end of the letter. That says what they want you to do. So a compliance notice here, this one, is the Environment Agency asking you a question, and generally they ask, do you need to comply? Is there a reason why you shouldn't have complied? And to inform them if you've already sort of submitted an assessment. And sometimes if you've got a subsidiary company, the subsidiary company will get a compliance notice saying, have you complied with ESOS, or should you comply with ESOS? And in fact, everything's fine because you've complied under the holding company's submission, okay? That's pretty common. I'd say probably 50-50 or 50% of the ones that get in are written to subsidiaries and everything's fine, no problems. It's just a bit of admin to go through to clear it off, okay? What must you do when you get a compliance notice? You must do something. Do not ignore it. You need to sort it out. They've got systems in place, and if you don't ignore it, that will escalate up to an enforcement notice, and that will then ultimately escalate up to a penalty notice. And the penalty notice is another word for a fine. So fines at the moment are up to £90,000. There is a document that the Environment Agency issued, I think last month, where they said that fine is they're looking to increase it to £200,000. Okay, so what you must do, without a shadow of a doubt, is you get one of those, don't ignore it. Okay, and act quickly. There are time limits. Normally our time limit on a compliance notice is around about 7 days. So you've got 7 days to give them the information they've asked for. That's what you must do, and what you mustn't do, ignore it. What should you do? At that point here, your best bet is to engage your lead assessor or give us a call. We handle these on a regular basis. Get in contact with a lead assessor and say, look, I've got this, what do I do? If it's a quick admin thing, the lead assessor can quickly say you need to do this and this. Sometimes they do it for you, sometimes you do it yourself. It's really your call, it's up to you. But they'll know what to do. So that's your first port of call. So compliance notice asks you what's going on. Don't ignore it, definitely don't ignore it. Definitely respond either directly or even better, get a lead assessor involved. We know this sort of stuff, so we can help you through it. If you say after a compliance notice, do you know what, I think we do need to comply, and we haven't, what they then do is they then issue an enforcement notice. It's a pretty scary document. It's if you ignore this, you'd be stupid to do so. And in it, it gives you, again, at the back, critically, this schedule at the back. Schedule 1, steps to be taken, and it's normally got what you must do and a date where you must comply by. Now, at that point, enforcement notice, I strongly advise you get a lead assessor involved. I mean, you cannot, by law, do an ESOS assessment unless you're qualified to do so. And therefore you're going to need one anyway. And as I said earlier, these guys know this stuff and they'll be able to help you through it. But if you get an enforcement notice, it normally means, yes, you have to do an ESOS assessment. We're looking for you to do one, and that's when you've got to complete it by, okay? Critical, then absolutely critical. With one of my clients, you might want to sort of give them calls every 2 days and say, oh, come on chaps, let's get it right. You need to file by those dates. So if you haven't got the information you need to get it jolly pronto. One of my clients at the moment has received an enforcement notice and they're dragging their heels getting the data together. That's just not good, because you get to that date, you're going to be looking at a penalty notice. And so far, touch wood, none of my clients have ever received a penalty notice. So that's something I don't want to break. It's got clean record so far, and I've done, I don't know, 300-400 of these. So that's a good record, and I want to keep it that way. So that's the enforcement notice. Don't ignore it. Do engage a lead assessor. Don't delay. It is time critical. Okay. What else? The last one. This baby here. This comes in 2 halves. So the first half of the notification says, here's why we're allowed to do under law what the other letter says we're going to do. Okay, just kind of states their powers, really, and they're quite extensive. So it states the powers, and the other letter, it's all contained in the same document, near the end says, congratulations, you have been selected for a ESOS compliance audit. And they're a real pain. If you get one of those, it is not a good day. You will have had better times than what you're about to go through. In a compliance audit, they will go back to your last submission, and I've had ones that go back 3, maybe just touching on 4 years, and they'll go through all of the data that you put together into your ESOS assessment pack, line by line, and look at, well, why did you say you had 2 company cars? I thought on this document here it says you got 3 company cars. What happened to the other car? Could you please tell me in writing within 14 days why there is it ... And they go through that time and time again. It takes ages. They really are quite detailed in their focus, which I suppose is good for them, but it means for people like myself, it just sucks time. There's just so much detail you need to respond back to them with their audits. Interesting to note with a compliance audit, if I spent maybe, the last one I did, maybe took me 3 man days of my time, okay? If I did 3 man days worth of time on it, actually discussing what my client had done to reduce their energy, maybe took, out of that 3 days, maybe took about 10 minutes, all right? They're not that interested in what you've done to reduce energy. They're interested in, did you follow through the procedure in the correct manner, okay? Ask me if I think that's good. No, it's not. I think they're focusing in the wrong place. I can see why they're trying to do what they do, but at the moment it's literally 95 to 98% of their effort is, did you file the right figure, put the right figure in the right box, and etc., rather than, come on, show me what you've done. And I kind of penalise some companies that are trying really hard, but maybe their lead assessor didn't get things quite right on the compliance audit. Most compliance audits will come up, just to warn you, statistically speaking, they published the stats again last month in a circular. Most will come up with a pass with amendments or a fail. Okay, so they're the majority of findings. By far and away, you get pass with amendments. So they say, look, this hasn't failed. You've done what you needed to do, but there are some amendments that need doing. And normally they give you, for example, 7 or 14 days to make those amendments, which for me and my team means scurrying around very fast to try and get everything together. So there you go. 3 flavors of notice. With all 3 of them, my strong recommendation, I've seen clients trying to do it themselves, without doing this, but my strong recommendation is get a professional involved. Find yourself a lead assessor that you trust, that knows what they're doing, and let them guide you through the process. That's what they're there for. If you ever get one of these, I don't know. None of my clients have ever had them, so I can't speak from experience, but I suspect it's not really good news if you get penalty notice. So there you go. In summary, compliance notices, enforcement notices, compliance audit notices, act fast, don't ignore, get a lead assessor involved. I hope that was useful. If you need any more information about carbon neutrality, SECR or ESOS, the three big areas that we cover, then either subscribe to the channel, or I think everybody says click the like button below, so I assume that's click the like button below, and you can pick up on more of these videos as we make them available. Okay, thank you very much.